Rwanda is a small landlocked country in the heart of Africa with a population of about 11 million people. The Rwandan economy is based mainly on agriculture. In fact, the sector occupies approximately 91% of the active population and contributes to 36% of the gross domestic product and to about 70% of the country's export revenue. For the past 20 years, Rwanda has registered tremendous achievements in the agricultural sector through the government's vision to modernize agriculture and livestock to achieve food security. Though there have been a lot of achievements, some issues still remain. Rwanda has the highest population density in Africa with an estimated 400 people per kilometers squared. This has put a lot of pressure on the scarce land available. Competing factors for the same land like forests, residences, factories, and other factors have further encroached on the small land Rwanda has. Rwanda has not been exempted from the effects of climate change and global warming. Rwanda's terrain, comprised of mainly hills, has been a challenge for the agriculture sector due to soil erosion and the hardships of cultivating such land. Sustainability of our global food and agriculture system is at risk today. In Rwanda, the traditional rain-fed agriculture is equally vulnerable as to the other nations. To enhance these efforts, the Food and Agriculture Organization started working with partnerships with some countries in assessing and enhancing the sustainability of their agricultural production systems in an integrated way. The sustainable food and agriculture emanates from the vision and strategic objectives of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. This is the purpose of the Sustainable Food and Agriculture approach that has been developed to support and accelerate the transition to a more sustainable food and agriculture systems at a country level. Rwanda and FAO started working on the sustainable food and agriculture in June 2014. In July and August 2014, the assessment survey was undertaken to better identify issues, projects and programs, policies and strategies related to the sustainable food and agriculture in Rwanda. The consultative process launched through the survey has been pursued in November 2014 during a workshop aiming at identifying potential areas of action for the sustainable food and agriculture in Rwanda.
We came to this workshop really to bring together a range of stakeholders to assess whether the issues that we had identified as priorities in agricultural sustainability in Rwanda are the correct issues and how we would best move forward in addressing those through initiatives that we might begin or by building on existing programs.
When we are talking about the Sustainable Food and Agriculture Initiative, it is to look at those interventions and see how we can make them join together, the cross-sectoral dimension, because every one of those interventions has an impact in the natural resources, has an impact on other interventions. So this new approach of the sustainable food and agriculture brings actors together to look at how we should work together, how should we interconnect to make sure that the impact of our interventions make the environment more sustainable.
The workshop gathered stakeholders from many different backgrounds, government, NGOs, and development partners. Based on a participatory group working involving all stakeholders, the workshop aimed at jointly defining action plans to improve the sustainability of food and agriculture in Rwanda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, we welcome you for this important workshop, which is in line with the vision of our country, also the strategic plan of the Ministry of Agriculture for the coming 5 years.
The global competition on our natural resources has been threatening our ability to produce over the long term. For effective action to be identified and prioritized and also acted upon, because it's good to identify, we also need to act upon them, the issues at stake must be well understood. We really need to understand what is at stake when we are talking about sustainability.
For the first time, stakeholders from the different subsectors of agriculture and natural resources had the opportunity to jointly exchange with FAO on their own challenges and work on key interactions between their subsectors for a more integrated sustainability of food and agriculture. A great potential on enhancing the synergies and minimizing the negative externalities between subsectors of agriculture is foreseen by the stakeholders.
This session is very important. It comes in the right time, and I think it is possible to work for sustainable food and agriculture by looking at a synergy between the policies of agriculture and environment point of view and the sustainable planning and result-based planning. So if we can take it from there, we know our weakness today and we know how far we are gone by planning sustainable agriculture. I'm very much looking forward, of course, to see how this recommendation we made here is going to be implemented by the top leadership.
There is as well potential for this approach to be expanded to other countries. A number of success stories already exist in the country that could be scaled up with the help of FAO for more impact. The workshop allowed for the elaboration of joint action plans that were agreed by the key stakeholders invited during the workshop. At the end of the workshop, the participants compiled together different recommendations and consolidated them into 4 cross-cutting areas to work on in order to achieve sustainable food and agriculture.